If you are looking to buy a prop firm account under $100,000, I recommend you don't. In this video, I want to explain to you why that's the case and why I made that same mistake 10 months ago. What's going on, guys? Welcome on into the video. Today, we're talking about prop firms. And about 10 months ago, I bought my first prop firm challenge account. And on that account, it was a $50,000 account. I had the ability to trade stocks and a couple other things. And the prop firm that I chose, as I got halfway to the funding target or the first phase target, they changed the rules. They changed their tradable asset list, and now the prop firm no longer exists. I eventually got my money back after a lot of back and forth, me having to take a Twitter post down. It was kind of a whole thing, but I got my money back, and I wasted a couple of months with them. So then, with that bad taste in my mouth, skeptical, all this stuff, I went to two other prop firms that are fairly new, that offered the ability to trade stocks. One of them no longer does, and one is catering to stocks pretty much, not only, but caters to stock traders. And I bought a $25,000 account, a $10,000 account, a $25,000, and a $6,000 account. So I bought some of the lowest level accounts that they had, and that was a mistake, looking back. Now, why was it a mistake? Because the accounts are, and I still have them. I have never failed at any of them. I still have them. The accounts were and are too small. So hear me out. When you go this route, you think, okay, if I was trading with 10,000 or a couple thousand in options or whatever, you think, okay, well, I can go and get access to 50K, 25K, which sounds like a lot more money. When you deal with these prop firms and they have a 10% drawdown rule, a couple percent daily draw. The daily drawdown, I think, is fine. The 10% drawdown rule, you have to be aware that, you can't drop your balance by 10%. If it's a trailing drawdown, even worse. If it's a static drawdown, that's better, because if you make money, at least that static drawdown, let's say you bought a $10,000 account, you can't drop it below $9,000 if the drawdown is 10%. So if you get the account to $11,000, it's still $9,000. So you can now lose $2,000 and you have more of a cushion. So that's why the static versus trailing, always pick the static drawdown if you can, so they don't change that up on you. But with these accounts and these drawdown rules, you have to account for the potential that you could go into a month or two, or even longer, or a couple weeks or a couple days in a row of red trades. And that is, simply put, trading in a nutshell. You are going to have red days, you're going to have red weeks, you're going to have red months. It's just what it is. It's just, you're going to experience that. I don't think that anyone's immune to that. No one is immune to that. You can get better over time, but I don't think that you can completely, avoid the chance of that happening. And so what I found in my trading, by the way, I am not sitting here saying I am super successful. I'm just a guy trying to figure his own shit out. That's literally all I'm doing. And I'm showing my trade recaps and trying to, share the experiences along the way, because I think it could actually help. And I don't think people are showing a lot of the red and how you think when you're red, and these phases and periods in time when things are not working the same as they used to, and you were making money, but you're doing the same thing. And it's like, what do you do? But that's besides the point. I am better than break even. Not so much, but you can see the chart of as I have been trading this strategy that I only trade now, ever since 18 months ago, it's been pretty good. Nothing crazy. We're not going parabolic. We're not doing, crazy numbers. We're just kind of slow, steady, consistent. That's kind of my view and the approach. But in doing so, I have to be very conservative, because I do not want to go into a situation where I lose 5 trades in a row, which is absolutely possible. My worst losing streak was 9 in a row. I don't want to go in a situation where I lose 5 in a row and I blow my account. I hit drawdown. I don't want that to happen. I want to be able to keep my account and go through the ups and downs and the normal ups and downs that a trader is going to go through over the course of weeks, months, and years. Because you're going to have great streaks and you're going to have bad streaks. And so what I found was that these accounts are too small, because the needle is only getting moved slightly over the course of a bigger picture. You can kind of narrow it in and say, oh, my month of May, had I sized up 2-3 times the size that I was trading with, I would have passed all my accounts. And in the case, I've only passed one of the accounts, and the other accounts I'm working towards passing. So I'm funded on one of the accounts, and the other ones I'm not yet. Hope to be soon, but I can't control when that's going to happen because, I mean, I can control that, but at the same time, I'm just going with the ups and downs of the market, trading my strategy, and I don't know when that's going to be, you know? But what I found was that is at least the stage that I'm at where I'm just better than break even. You're not making a lot of money even if you fund the account. So let's say you fund the $10,000 account. You're not making, you know, crazy dollars. If you make a couple percent, that's great. If you make a couple percent in a month, that's great. But that's a couple $100. If you make a couple percent on a $100,000 account or a $200,000 account, that's thousands of dollars. You see the difference? A couple $100 buys me a pair of shoes, maybe pays for my groceries, whereas a couple $1,000s pays for my rent, pays for my car, pays for my health insurance, all my shit. Like, it pays for a thing, like actually bigger things in my life, whereas the smaller accounts are not. And so what you'll find is that I think a lot of people go down this route and they get frustrated because now they get funded, but now they're not making a lot of money. And so they have to now purchase a larger account, go through that entire phase of trying to fund that account, which could take a while if you're being conservative. And it's really mentally taxing. And so it's very easy to fall into the trap of, let me just size up a little bit more and a little bit more. And once you do that, but then you experience a red streak, now your chance of hitting the drawdown is so much higher. You lose the account. That's even worse. And now you're spiraling. Now you're spiraling. You buy a new account. You're doubling down, tripling down, just trying to get it back just so you can get funded again because you were funded. Now you're not, and you want to get back to that level. And so you're constantly fighting upstream. So if you were to purchase, simply put, a larger account, I believe $100,000 or more, you could trade very conservatively, not like these degenerate gamblers who most of the people who are trading in the prop firm space are. You can trade very conservatively, be happy with, on average, making, 1 or 2% per month. Because think about this. If you made, on average, over the course of a year, 1 to 2% per month, that is beating the average S&P returns. Okay, I know it's trading. It's not the same thing as investing. That's beating or even doubling the average S&P returns. And as you scale your account, to me, it doesn't matter. Like, if I had a way to print money in a sense because of a strategy, and I could print money, I would just slowly build up, buy bigger accounts, or build my capital to where my account gets larger and larger and larger. I wouldn't change my strategy. I would just keep doing the same exact things, and I would just build my account larger and larger so that the percentages become larger and larger and larger, and that's all it is. Versus thinking in this way where on the smaller accounts, to make meaningful money, you got to go and make 5, 10, 15% on your account in a month, which you could absolutely do. The chances of sustaining that over time, extremely low. Especially if you have a trailing drawdown prop firm, you are going to set yourself up for failure, and you're going to be fighting upstream, and you're going to want to be ripping your hair out when you go through those drawdown times, because it is absolutely part of it. But no one talks about it. Everyone wants to talk about the shiny object and making all this money. Oh, I got funded. Now I can make so much money. But no one talks about keeping the funded account. You need to keep the funded account to continue to get payouts. If you do not, it's all irrelevant anyway. So that's my 2 cents. If I could go back, I would have bought a much larger account at the time. It's not wasted, though, in my case, because I got the reps in. I've got more trade data. I've tracked all my trades. I have all this information that I can utilize in the future. So it's not a bad thing. It's just my recommendation would be, if you already have, some sort of profitability, whether that's with options or whether that's on paper accounts or whatever, and you want to move to a prop firm and get more money, then this is not going the bigger account size is definitely the way to go. If you are brand new and you want to trade with real money, although even though you're on demo accounts on the prop firms, because they're not giving you actually their money, they're just going to pay you out from the pool that they're making when people, keep buying challenges and keep failing. If you want to go that route and you're new, go with the cheapest account so you can feel like it's real money, get some reps in, and then, once you become profitable in the perfect world, many will not, but once you do, if you do, then move to then just buy a bigger account. So in my case, once I fund these accounts, I'm immediately going to use any profits I make to go buy the bigger ones and buy the biggest ones. I'm going right to 200K on my next ones. That's just my approach, how I'm going to do things. And then, trading conservatively, I'm happy to make 1% per month on 200K. Happy to do it. happy to do it because I don't rely on this money. So that's side income that could pay legit, like I said, rent, groceries, car, health insurance, like all that stuff can get covered by, 1% per month on a 200K account. So that's my 2 cents. Hope it was helpful. And if it was, cool. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.